Good morning. Yeah, we see you in the morning. It's not midday yet. So yes, good morning to everyone. We are here for another video. Today we're gonna talk something. We're gonna talk about something very interesting. Can you imagine that about 5,000 years, 6,000 years ago, someone was abducted by aliens? Yes, we have loads of information in the mythology about abductions and things like this. Yes, so we have some pictures, but we have something right down about it in the Torah. Yeah, in the Jewish holy scriptures. We have an experience of a man in Genesis. Lot, Lot. Lot was abducted. He was about 300 years old man. He had a family, but they said that in his days, even a lot of wrong stuff was going around and on. He had a heart of connected with the spiritual beings and with the Almighty ones, because it's not just one, you have many of them. And because he was a righteous man, because his path was clear and the place he was in was not that so clear, they said that the spiritual beings decided to take him off earth, and he was not seen anymore. Is there? Right down there. Genesis, the first book, or Bereshit in Torah. Then you had another experience later on by a man called Elijah. Elijah was taken also, and when they describe it at this moment, they said that a carriage, a vehicle from the sky came down, and he was taken from the earth and put inside that vehicle, and off he went. This is the second one. And today we are going to read a book of the prophet Ezekiel. Ezekiel was about 25 when he was taken, him and his wife and all the priesthoods and all the royalties of the king of Judah to the Babylon by Nabucodonosor. Nabucco took them on the first time he came and took the flight for Babylon. He did it 3 or 4 times. That was the first time. So Ezekiel and Daniel was taken in the first one, because Daniel was from the royalties and Ezekiel was from the priesthood. So he was about 25 when he was taken there. He just had married. So him and his wife was taken there. His wife didn't last longer. He died about 10 years after. So when this man died, he was about 50. He was not old man. Yeah. Okay. So now let's read the experience of Ezekiel. It's very interesting, his experiences, because he describes completely the vehicle that he saw coming on the clouds. And for who knows that area very well, I have been there many times on Israel, and I know that there is not much clouds in there. When there is a cloud, it's going to be a rain and a storm. So to see clouds there, it was something different. The first chapter of Ezekiel. So if you want to study something special, if you want to study a person that was showing things from his time, times they will come later on, times they will come 1,000 years after, things that will come more 1,000 years after, and things that is coming 1,000 years after me and you. Because the things that Ezekiel saw in his books that was shown to him by these beings didn't happen yet. And in my point of view, it's gonna take a long time to come to life, to manifest. Things that Ezekiel saw in the end of his book, it's not gonna be for now. It's gonna be for 1,000 years after. Can you imagine it? A man that someone from another dimension show him things that is going to happen in the planet from 1,000 years ahead of our time. Now you can imagine how this man is going to describe it, thing that was not in his conscious yet. He didn't have any relation. He didn't have a way of relating it to his reality and the reality that is coming. So the way he described this vehicle that he saw is something that was in his brain. He saw the object, but he didn't know how to describe it in the way we do today. So he described the way he was able to. That his brain had already the images inside. Today, we have millions of more images in our brain than our ancestors. They didn't have television, they didn't have chairs like we do today, they didn't have lights like you have today, they didn't have anything like this. They didn't have telephone, so they didn't know how to describe it because it was not their reality. Now you have way of describing things that they didn't have. So accept what's happened here in the book of Ezekiel. He didn't have a way of describing better than he did. It was his reality, what was in his brain. Let's see. Now, chapter 1. Now it came about in the 30th year of the 50th day of the 4th month, while I was by the river Keba among the exiles, the heavens were open, and I saw visions of God. So he has been prepared before. On this day, 30 years, probably his age, because it was 5 years after he was taken to exile. He was taken with 25. So in 5 years later, he was already 5 years on the exile when he started to see visions. Verse 2. On the 5th of the month, of the 5th year of the king Joachim, exile. Joachim was the king. He was a child. He was about, no, he was very young, teenager probably. He was taken to exile. They didn't kill him. They preserved him. He died by age later on, but he never went back to Israel. He was sustained and maintained in the kingdom of Babylon. Verse 3, the word of the Lord came expressly to Ezekiel, the priest. He was from the priesthood, son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Kebar. And there the hand of the Lord came upon him. And as I looked, behold, and a storm wind was coming from the north. A storm wind. So, a storm of wind. A great cloud with the fire flashing forth continuously and a bright light around it, and in its midst something like glowing metal in the midst of the fire. So he saw a big cloud. Coming with the cloud, a big wind. And in the middle of this big cloud, something like a metal was glowing. And the lights of this metal was flashing around this cloud. And within it, with this clouds on this metal stuff, there were figures resembling 4 living beings. And this was the appearance. They had human form. He saw these things like sometimes when you see an airplane came, some types of airplanes, especially the war ones, the war airplanes, they look like an eagle, they look like animal, don't they? The face, like when they are coming with the wings, like they are gonna fly. They're gonna fly in. But the face, they have eyes, they have nose, this thing's big. It looks like something from human, from creature. And this was the appearance. They had human form. Each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. It's like it was not like just one. It looks like it was more than one. It's exactly the way you see today. So many times we see 3, 4 flying together. Okay, and the legs were straight, and the feet were like a calf hoof, and they gleamed like a burnished bronze. Yeah, of course they were coming from the space. They had to cross our belt of energy. So when they come down, of course they're gonna burn. They're very hot because of the velocity. You see today when they come down from the space, or when they come down from the space station, the shuttle that brings them down burn. And when they flash on the water, you can see they are all burned around. And I said, oh my God, I would be frightened to death inside this thing, thinking, oh my God, it's so hot outside. How am I going to be surviving inside this shuttle? Yeah, a lot of technology there. So the feet of this thing, were burning like bronze. Under the wings of the 4 sides were human hands, and for the face and wings of the 4 of them. Apparently there were 4 of them, 4 of those things. Of course, the foot of them is like this to land, so they look like a hand, don't they? But Okay, verse 9. The wings touched one another, the faces did not turn when they moved, and each went straight forward. So it's amazing because it's one piece. Of course, the wings have to touch one another. Even the airplane, when the wings touch each other by the fuselage of the middle. So the wings is there's all these shuttles that goes up to the space. They have this format. Some of them are round, but they have four sides of them. So they have these things like this design like this. It looks like a wing, but sometimes they have the hands also by the side. So to land properly, especially the one that goes to the moon and the one that goes to Mars, they have some hands like they open when they land. They open like this to stabilize the the shuttle. Verse 10. And for the form of the faces, each had the face of a man. All four had the face of a lion on the right, and the face of the bull on the left, and all four had the face of an eagle. So there were four different four vehicles. They were moving together, like we see them today. They have this pattern of flying together, and it's amazing. If you don't see it, look at the internet. You look at a lot of videos of them flying. It's very interesting. Verse 11. Such were the faces. The wings were spread out above. Each had two touching another beams, and two covering the bodies. It's like have you seen some of the airplanes have the wing on the back the wing goes like this? So this shuttle was very interesting shuttle. This vehicle was very interesting. How come he's going to describe something like this? If you see describe an airplane come down. Describe describe an airplane come down. How are you going to describe it? And this man 4,000 years ago that had to describe vehicles that he never saw before. Didn't have any connection with anything. It can't have related to nothing that he saw before. Verse 12. And each went straight forward. Whenever the spirit was about to go, they would go without turning as they went. So of course, when they go, everything goes together. In the minds of the living beings, there were something looked like burning coals of fire, like torches darting back and forth among the living beings. So the ignition, burning coal. It's amazing when you see one of the shuttles going up to the sky. Have you seen the what's the name? What's it called? When they are preparing to go and when they ignite the machine to fly, all this fire that comes down to push it up. That's what he's describing here. Wherever they have to move, they have to burn some energy. So this flashing, this burning stuff that comes up, even when they come down, they have to burn some energy so they can slow the descent. So it's amazing, and he sees it like in eye to eye, just in front of him. This was most amazing for men that didn't have any knowledge about anything like this. The fire was bright, and the lightning was flashing from the fire. If you never saw one of the shuttles go up to the sky, follow what's the name? The Elon Musk project or the NASA, and you're going to understand what he saw, what Ezekiel saw. See one of these takeoff of these shuttles, just once. You're going to see how it feels. Feels great. I love to see them. I didn't. I am always there looking at them when they go up, especially if the astronauts are in, because I want to know if everything is going to be okay. Verse 14. And the living beings run to and fro like bolts of light. Now I looked at verse 15. Now I looked at the living beings. Behold, there was one wheel on the earth side, the living beings, for each of four of them. It's amazing how he says that wheels are on the earth bedside. So when they touch when they start to touch the earth, they send the wheel. So it was supposed to also not just fly, but goes like our shuttles goes on the moon and Mars. They have to have wheels to move around. So these ones had wheels also. That means they were not just supposed to fly, but they were supposed to go driving around. It's amazing, isn't it? They have the wheels. So it was not supposed just to fly above, but to go around the planet. The appearance of the wheels and the workmanship was like a sparkling beryl, and all four of them had the same form. The appearance and workman beings as if one wheel were within another. They were connected, like the wheels of our car. They were connected to each other. They have this thing that connects one wheel to the other. So when you turn, they will turn. It's amazing. Wherever 17, wherever they moved in any of the four directions without turning as they moved. Of course, the wheels were is for to run with the vehicle. It was one piece, but he didn't know that because the wheels were moving also to to carry the vessel on top. So he thought that the wheels had power by itself. Don't forget that all related everything like this to spirit. Okay? Wherever, verse 17, wherever they moved in any of the four directions without turning as they moved. As for the rims, they were soft, soft, soft and iron, and the rims of all four of them were full of eyes around about. Yeah, like our cars or any rims of the cars. They're full of things to fix it. It's not it's the way you put the screws on it. So to screw it on the piece. Verse 19, and whenever the living beings moved, the wheels moved with them. Of course, the wheels are moving the vehicle. And wherever the living beings rose from the earth, the wheels rose also, of course. 20. Wherever the Spirit was about to go, they would go in that direction. And the wheels rose close beside them. Remember when the airplane goes up, the wheels get close to the body of the airplane. Exactly what's happened here. That's the way he described it. Look, and whenever the living beings rose from the earth, the wheels rose also. Wherever the Spirit was about to go, they would go in that direction, and the wheels rose close beside them. For the Spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. Verse 21. Whenever those went, and wherever those stood still, those stood still. And whenever those rose from the earth, the wheels rose close beside them, for the Spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. So you have here a description of an alien shuttle, not just one four, coming and revealing itself to Ezekiel, a priest from Israel, about 354,000 years ago. And he described it exactly the way he told it was. And the description of it is very accurate. If you want to study this episode, go to book of Ezekiel in the Bible and study it. Not just chapter 1 and 2, but study the whole book. You're going to see the present today on his descriptions. You're going to see how accurate he was on describing our reality today in 2025. And you're going to see he describing situation that is going to happen in 1,000 years ahead of us. To these men, these aliens, these spiritual people, it's not just spiritual, they were humanoids. They were humanoids, our helpers, the ones that is watching over us, over this planet. This planet is a project of these humanoids from wherever they are. Can be from Syria, can be from other. I forgot the name of the other. What's the name of this other? The slave that came from. I forgot the name. Can be. They are our helpers. They are our creators. They invaded Earth some time ago. So they are responsible. They are not responsible, but they are watchers. They watch over this project. The ones that is the project, they are bigger than this one that watch over us. They were just keepers. The real creators of this project is a little above them. But they were here. They are our helpers, and they have power to help us and to interfere if you go, you know, if you go over what you should be doing. They can intervene, yes. And they have done before. They have done before many times. What do you think it was the floods that took Earth? Why do you think it was the ice ages? Just trying to, to direct the humanity to the end of this project being positive, not negative. They are our keepers. They are our watchers. Our creators created us, the project, and put in the hands of these watchers so they follow our path and see how you're gonna develop. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder how they feel about us, why they haven't give up yet. Because when you see our reality today, you think, oh my God. They were so, they are trying so hard that even they send someone like Jesus to try to show us the way. And they have been sending others and others and others. How do you think this one that comes from India? So many, so many good spirits. Why do you think Buddha came? When I think about Buddha's life, it amazes me how he gave up so much in order to experiment in this liberation, spiritual liberation, so he can help the one that was suffering. So yeah, so many. You had so many. In our days, you have some also. They are trying to teach humanity to be better, so you can produce and you can get to the evolution you need to be in order for us to make some paradise of this planet. This planet was made to be a paradise, not what you have got today. What I can say is, wherever you see something going bad by your side, every time you see something on the news that is negative, try to put some positive on it. Transform that negative energy. Transform that. When you see someone fighting, give peace to the moment. You don't need to say anything. Just hear. Because you have a cord here. All of us have a cord here that connects to the creators. And the creator's energy is positive. So if you connect with that positive energy that's up there, you can spread this and be a candelabra and be a menorah. Spreading light, spreading light, spreading light. So when you see someone fighting, send some positive energy. Connect immediately. Connect immediately to the source. And be like a cat and dog. When you are not feeling very well, just touch a dog, touch a cat, and you'll see how you're gonna feel. They know how to transform this. Yeah. Yeah. Some people try to transform a metal in a gold, their chemistry. But the real chemistry is when you take the negative energy and light it with your positive energy. Okay, go to Ezekiel and study it and see the proof of our alien brothers and sisters. God bless and keep you safe and you also. Bye bye.